There's a flash of light in the sky, and there's a wedge-shaped object hanging motionless. It made a clunking sound. Morning. We've come back for a little bit of a summing up. Here we are again. I've just come onto top at Dyke, and it rarely gets the kind of footfall that you'd get obviously lower down, simply because it's a bit inaccessible. You've got to climb an hill to get to it. I've now bought a dog harness so I can carry him. I draw a line at a pram. We're not going to be having a dog pram anytime soon, are we? I think when it gets to dog pram days, my days will be numbered walking about, but come on, Bob. And we'll make us way through here. And it's pretty thick vegetation. Not vegetation that Bob likes. Come on, push. Come on, lad. Poor little bugger. Should have had his dog harness on, shouldn't I? Come on, Bob, we're through it now, mate. Come on. There we go. So we just got through that thick bit, but I think if we're going to find anything, it's going to be in parts like this that get very little footfall. And so far so good. So what is killing them? I have to confess I've got no idea. And although we're a channel that covers things of an unexplained nature, I'm leaning more towards it being the work of people. But we've just got to ask ourselves why. So we'll just keep going. I thought I would stop midpoint and just talk about something connected to unexplained phenomena, because after all, that's what Truth Proof is about. And once again, these are just thoughts. But whatever genre of the unexplained you're interested in, be it ghosts, UFOs, cryptids, spirits, anything, the effect that these things, or this intelligence, if it's lots of different ones or just one singular, but the effects of what it has on a person is incredible in many ways when you actually study it. Meaning, many people will recount a UFO and sit down, Bob. Many people will recount a UFO sighting, and when they're talking about it, they say it's the most spectacular thing they'd ever seen in their life. They never forget it. They've never experienced anything more incredible in their lives. It's almost on biblical proportions, the way it affects a person. Likewise, if it's a fearful interaction, if it's something that's been frightening, they talk about it as though it's the most frightening thing they've ever experienced in their life, absolutely terrifying. You hear of war veterans talking about being in combat zones where they've actually looked death in the face, as in the enemy, and then talking about encountering cryptids in a forest, in a woodland, sometimes in an urban environment. But the fear that these things invoke is off the scale of anything they've experienced before. So many things. The light forms, people talk about seeing the lights. On the cliff tops, the guy who saw the 3 white lights at the top of Speeton on the path in front of him said they were blindingly bright. He'd never seen lights as bright in his life. And they were literally probably 20 metres in front of him. 3 neon lights in a straight line, with the middle one being slightly higher. Listen to that. Interesting observation. He also said that these lights didn't illuminate anything around them. So how does that work? We're looking at something that's incredibly bright but illuminates nothing around them. There's clearly some other science at work here. But I just thought it were worth mentioning that no matter what genre of the unexplained you are interested in, the phenomena actually is at the top of the scale each time it presents. Every time somebody recounts a story, it's the most fearful, it's the most elative, it's the most incredible sighting, it's the strangest sound. Everything is at the top end of the scale. I recount a story from a guy called Rob, who, as a young boy in 1966, at the top of West Hill in Bridlington, claimed that he was cutting trees down with his younger brother. He said he were up to no good. I think some man were paying them for the trees that they'd cut down. He said, and while we're up there, it's where the Bridlington Hospital is now built. It used to be a woodland. He says, and while we're up there cutting, there's a flash of light in the sky. And he looks with his brother, and there's a wedge-shaped object hanging motionless in the sky. There's a wedge-shaped object hanging motionless in the sky. Now, Rob says that his initial reaction was to take hold of his brother and drag him under the trees out of the way, which is exactly what he did. And they watched this large, a really big wedge-shaped object, picture a piece of cheesecake slice on its side, hanging in the sky. He said it had a blue flame or glow all the way around it, and I think he said red or orange lights at the back, or flame. And they watched it for several minutes. In his words, he says he had to protect his brother because if he hadn't have brought him back, his dad would have actually probably killed him. So he said eventually, and we'll get back to these strange noises and strange things that make these phenomena different to anything else. He said eventually it made a clunking sound, like a huge piece of iron machinery, really strange sound, and it moved forward in a jerk. And then all of a sudden it just set off in a straight line and just a dot in the distance instantly. But why do I bring that up in conjunction with talking about the top end of the scale and strange sightings and experiences? I bring it up because Rob said, and bearing in mind we're going back to 1966 and it's now 2024, he's never heard a sound like it in his life. He's tried for as long as he can remember, since first hearing the sound, to find something that could replicate it, to try and replicate it himself. He's never ever heard anything like that sound, which I find fascinating. And then you get people talking about the brightness of the lights, as I've just said. You get people talking about the fear being off the scale of normal. So it strikes me that everything that we're involved in when it comes to the unknown phenomena is off the scale of anything that we can comprehend. And I don't know what you think, Bob. He ain't got a clue. All he knows is that he's seen a squirrel. He's interested in squirrels. That's all he comes out for, squirrels. It used to be mice, didn't it, mate? But now it's squirrels. Off he goes down to play. There he goes. He loves it, look. Come on. Come on. Come here. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to pick that up on camera, but there were a noise then. Not sure what it was. Suppose it could have been a tree groaning. It's not windy. Come on. Come on. Look at him. Nice, fell down. You are the fastest, Bob. Notice he's had a little bit of a trim. Come here, because you're going to have your lead on again in a minute. Come here. There's too many squirrels and chasey bits about for him. And you know how fast he is. Whilst I'm walking back here, heading back towards the car, I'd like to ask people who are watching this, obviously because you've got an interest in the Unexplained, unless you've just dropped on the channel by chance, what experiences you've had of your own. And if you've had something incredible happened and never shared it, please consider sharing it with me at Truth Proof. guarantee that I won't use your name if that's what you require. I am sitting on a lot of reports at the moment, and I'm waiting till winter time when I can't get out as much in bad weather to start writing some of these up. You know, everybody's got other things going off in their lives, and we're no exception. I know that there's things out there that have been seen, been experienced. I'm particularly interested in 1970, around Flamborough Head and Bempton. So if you were alive in 1970 and know a little bit about what I'm talking about, let me know. I'm really interested in 1998, East and North Yorkshire. The strange things that happened in 1998 were kind of off the scale, a bit like 2009. So if you've got any information that could help with Hummingbee, please let me know. And if you'd rather not talk about it in public, let me know in private. Equally, if you've got any information about Wilsthorpe 2009, I'm all ears. I'd love to hear more about it. Lots and lots of things have been seen and experienced, and I'm just giving dates that I know about. I'm pretty sure that there's going to be other encounters, other experiences that people have had on other years. So just to recap, I'm interested in 1963, 1970, 1998, 2009, and for obvious reasons, these are years when I've had reports of exceptionally strange activity, and it would be lovely to gather a little bit more information, not necessarily relating to those cases, but that I could pack around those cases and make them even more interesting. I've said many times that I think the most interesting story I've ever worked on, and probably ever likely to work on, is Hummingbee. And I'd dearly love more people to come forward with their experiences from around the Hummingbee area. So if you're one of those people that sat on a bit of information, it might not even be a UFO related story. It could actually be that you witnessed the roadblocks that the military put up on the night that the spaceship landed. For those that don't know about that, you're going to have to search through the Truth Proof channel and you will find relevant information. So based on that, we're going to close it down for the 25th of September. And as always, please press the like and subscribe, and we shall catch you next time. Bye bye.